when you're building a relationship with people before they get out, one of the things that they're going to be lacking probably when they come out, if they've been in for any substantial period of time, is a community. You know, so it's giving people a way to plug in when they get out that's not just about meeting their survival needs, it's also about knowing that they have support, and not just support. I think sometimes that gets misread as like, okay, we're people who are here. That's not what a community is, right? And talk a lot about community being kind of the antithesis of prison, like community in its best sense. And I think one of the aspects of that is, you know, providing an environment where people can develop friendships, develop meaningful relationships, and feel like they're part of a group. And I think it's interesting. I really think that congregations in particular have a unique opportunity to do that, because you're bringing people in, you know, if you take that community approach, you're bringing people into a spot where they already have something in common with other people that's kind of deep-seated and emotional. You know, I think that word doesn't capture it all, but I think bringing emotion and heart back into this process is really important. That like having a connection is not just about like an exchange of goods or an exchange of services or an exchange of like, you know, oh, we're doing activities. It's also about sharing values and sharing meaning. And in some senses, I think for some people that can also include sharing a heritage and sharing a tradition. And so I think congregations are in a really interesting spot to do some of that work. And then there are people who convert while they're locked up. And that's not an unusual phenomenon. And that's partially because when people are incarcerated, often they're looking for meaning. You know, so a lot of people convert to Islam or convert to Christianity, and many people also convert to Judaism. So I definitely think there are ways of connecting with people maybe who found Judaism while in prison and definitely don't have a Jewish community on the outside. And I think that would just be like such meaningful work. I don't know if that's being done on any kind of scale right now. And I also think that, like, you know, even people who've always been Jewish, certainly there's no guarantee that they'll be able to find a welcoming community upon release. You know, I think it's important to remember that, like, it's difficult for anyone to enter new spaces. It was difficult for me to join SEDEC, even though there were people who were part of that congregation that I'd known since childhood, right? So for someone coming out of prison, like looking to connect in a Jewish space, not only do they have those barriers and obstacles that all of us have, but they also have the obstacle of feeling like they are not welcome in any space. So I think that those principles of welcoming, of accompaniment, you know, of saying to someone, you know, I'm going to be walking beside you, like those are so essential. They're just as essential as working with people to meet their survival needs when they get out.